Anything you produce will be a masterpiece by some period standards and some period's tastes. This under the rules of this thought experiment, this has to be true. Taste is 100% subject to the times. It changes with every generation, and it can't be more different than the last. It often swings in diametrically opposed directions. And the point of this is not to be like, you know, there's a super cheesy angle to take here, and not one that I'm interested in taking, right? Of like, you know, oh, all art is equally valid, and like that's completely true, by the way. I'm not saying that's wrong. That's 100% true. Just not an angle I think is super fun to discuss, right? Like we already know that. I think the much more interesting conclusion, and what I believe to be the true conclusion based off this thought experiment, is that there is no such thing as a masterpiece. There is no such thing as an objectively good piece of art. There's no such thing as good art or bad art. There are tastes and there are periods, and within those periods, tastes change and they develop. And the only thing stopping what you just doodled on your sketchbook right now from being a masterpiece someday in the year, you know, 3065, when the tastes are that, due to, you know, whatever's going on then, is simply the practicality of your drawing making it to them, right? Every painting that's ever been made is a masterpiece by some period standard. Great example is Van Gogh. Van Gogh, I think, is the ultimate example of this to me. When Van Gogh made all his stuff, everyone was like, this is terrible. This sucks, right? Nowadays, we obviously know Van Gogh is considered to be a genius, right? I'm not the biggest fan of him myself. I got yelled at Starry Night. I went up too close to the painting in the MoMA and they yelled at me. So because of that, I've always held a chip on my shoulder. I do blame Van Gogh for that in a lot of ways, but, you know, that's besides the point, I suppose, right? He was considered to be a terrible painter when he first, in his times, and because his paintings took the luckiest path they could have, right, going from person to person over the years until they eventually found their way into the right person, the right collection, the right time, and now Van Gogh is considered to be one of the greatest painters of all time, simply because of that lucky string of events, right? This is not to say that you are like not going to make it because you won't have that luck.